Hello, what is up everyone? I'm Sonic the Hedgehog here, and I'm Knuckles the Echidna here. We are from the likes of the Mexi Toys videos. Yeah, exactly. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64. So last time we actually did manage to completely done with 1P game as Mario. And today, for this episode, is the fact that we're about to be moving on to the next character in the lineup. That's what appears to be the one on the right, which is none other than DK, or to be more specifically, Donkey Kong. And yeah, let's go for it. Even though, well, one thing I will say this right from the start though is the fact that, well, if you couldn't tell already, is the fact that, relatively speaking, is the fact that we were originally gonna do this as in a first attempt, but this is the second attempt for this recording, because of how the fact that it's kind of hard to get used to with Donkey Kong in this game compared to the future games. But that's only because of how the fact that we're pretty much used to with any other fluid fighting games in general, including Smash Ultimate, so... Well, yeah, anyway, let's get into the actual Donkey Kong's moveset, as you can tell. Because basically we've already explained about every single stages that we actually just managed to go through. So either way though, let's talk about Donkey Kong, or DK for short, if you decide to call him in that. So, and wow, that was an explosion barrel. Yep, as what Link carries. So yeah, how it works for Donkey Kong right here is the fact that, well, obviously, just like in any other characters, he does have, 3 special moves, like, as far as the forms of special moves in general for Donkey Kong. Obviously, if you manage to press the B button, it'll actually do a giant punch, and you can able to actually have the ability to charge it up. That way, if you're able to charge up long enough, then press the B button on the exact time, you were able to get yourselves a massive punch damage, which I think it actually works quite well if you manage to able to pull it off in such an untimable method. Or I have no idea what I'm really saying about this point right now, just because it's just relatively speaking, there's just not much else I can usually just try to mention about this, aside from the fact that obviously today's day is of course the 11th of November today, in this case in 2020, and yes, we did manage to accomplish our 2-second silence for the likes of the Remembrance Day today, at least specifically in the UK, and I don't know about the rest of the countries though. But then again, I'm not exactly sure about that. Yeah, me neither, especially noticeable how the fact that we pretty much, you know, used to with the UK version of the Remembrance Day throughout the years, so... Excuse me, I'm really sorry about this point, folks, of all this, cocked up throat at the moment, just because, relatively speaking, it's just the fact the matter is, though, is that, well, since we actually did talk a lot, and then basically, you know, our throat gets dried up very easily, so even though, hopefully by that time until the next video, Sonic, that we'll definitely go ahead and just make our throats a bit better, in terms of likely doing the next video, and doing at some point on the same day, actually, as when Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory will be releasing, so... Yeah, speaking of that game, Knuckles, is the fact that until 2 days' time, is the fact that Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory will be releasing, so... Yeah, we're really looking forward to that though. Especially noticeable how the fact that we can able to actually just watch some more cinematics, including by the forms of some Kairi scenario, ever since after the events of Kingdom Hearts 3, or to be more specifically, Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind DLC, you know, when the actual story was ended, so... Yeah, but I digress. So anyways, let's go ahead and deal with Donkey Kong's Break the Targets level. The actual environment in DK's Target Smash, in addition to board the platforms as well, which we'll get into in a moment later, you know, it has the exact same palettes as for Mario's stages, so... Because I think they're trying to able to inspire us by the forms of the Donkey Kong arcade game or something, so... But yeah, I digress. So yeah, another one of those special moves that Donkey Kong can able to perform while doing with up B special attack, which allows Donkey Kong to do a spinning Kong. It might be pretty good if you try to able to recover yourself if you somehow almost go fall off the stage, and then you won't be able to actually do it that way. And of course, the most famous attack of them all, though, is the actual, well, the hand slam. And that way, it allows you to able to actually get yourselves some sort of like a, well, can't hard to explain about that attack, but it's actually pretty good special move if you manage to try to take down all sorts of team members, assuming if you're able to actually just try to deal with, like, let's just say, for example, the Fighting Polygon team, then you would be able to do it that way, even though that, unlike the sequels, to be more specifically in Multi-Man Melee and Multi-Man Brawl, and even especially noticeable with Multi-Man Smash, or even, well, let's just say, Mob Smash in Fury, that, basically, that you would be able to recommend it to able to use that. Did he just do the same thing as before? Wow, what a coincidence anyway. Anyway, now let's move on to stage 6, which is of course we're going to face off against with, of course, the first boss. In this case, Giant DK, so... And once again, we're teaming up with Fox again. Except this time around, though, we're now going to be teaming up with Kirby itself as well. Which, speaking of Kirby, we'll come across into him until after board the platforms. And yeah, it's more important exact right away. Much like in the forms of our Let's Play of Super Smash Bros. Melee, we will be able to actually just, well, if we somehow manage to fail the actual break the targets level for those characters in particular, in addition to board the platform scenario as well, we will try to able to show you guys the successful attempt on those. And during at some points, if we manage to able to go ahead and deal with the next few characters. To be more specifically though, Sonic, is that until this Friday, we're able to be focusing on Link, and then next week it will be Samus, Yoshi, and Kirby, and 2 weeks later it will be, well, a week after actually, will be Fox, Pikachu, and Luigi, and the final 3 characters in sometime in December or something. Well, at least to be more specifically, Knuckles, because, you know, relatively speaking, is the fact that this particular Let's Play will be, you know, a lot shorter compared to the forms of how it does it in Melee, as well as Brawl, in Subspace Emissary specifically, but, you know, you get the idea of how this goes. Alright, so no mistakes there, so even then, now let's move on. Oh yeah, one thing I should probably forgot to mention about this, and I think I some sort of have made a mistake ever since the last video. Apparently we did manage to mention about the forms of Mario's special moves correctly, which there are the Fireball if you manage to press just the B button, and down special attack for Mario is obviously the Mario Tornado. Well, usually as far as I usually say Tornado attack, that it feels kind of, well, it's kind of hard to explain. But either way though, but there's one special move that we sort of missingly mistake to calling it that, which apparently we actually did mistakenly call it the jump attack or something like that, which it usually calls it Super Jump Punch, which, yeah, that's fun pointing out right away. So either way though, yeah, that's as far as we can say in terms of Donkey Kong in this game. Even though I will have to admit though right away, is the fact that unlike the ones and how it does it in specifically in the future games though, that I'm pretty much good with him, but in this game, not so much barely though. Probably it's because of the limitations of the controls or some limitations of special attacks in Fury, but all in all, he's a pretty good character to use. Especially noticeable that if you're trying to, you know, charge up your, you know, the actual punch fist attack, or to be more specifically, the giant punch, then you would be able to actually kick those opponents' butt, no problem. So yeah, not much else to say from the sake of the forms of today, apart from the fact that, well, recently, one thing we forgot to mention about this ever since in the past, that recently we did manage to able to watch ourselves our HD movie cinematics of Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, as well as recoded, you know, movie cinematics on, specifically on the PlayStation 4 version specifically, despite the fact that these movies are pretty much plays out exactly the same as in the PlayStation 3 counterparts, except the fact that, well, it's on the PS4. And there's his taunt right here for Donkey Kong. Basically, he just goes like, ooh, and then basically he just goes like, well, he just, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Alright, so here we go, we face off against with Metal Mario for the second time around. Oh yeah, one thing that, I'm pretty sure that, Daffy Duck has slightly mentioned about this ever since in Team Sonic Racing Let's Play, that, apparently though, that the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, Sponge on the Run, basically is the fact that, apparently that particular movie has finally get its release in the UK during the films of this year, but rather than just releasing it on the actual theatrical release, as opposed to originally though, because instead it's been replaced by Netflix. What is this, like some sort of like a similar thing as in My Little Pony Pony Life or something? Well, it could be, Knuckles, it could be, but either way though, let's not mention about that. Even though, speaking of such though, it's the fact that much like in My Little Pony Pony Life, unfortunately for the American version of, well, let's just say the American release of, you know, SpongeBob SquarePants movie, Sponge on the Run, doesn't seem to able to get the actual new release date just yet for America, which I felt kind of sorry for the American fans out there, or American people out there, just because, unfortunately, at this point in time, is the fact that, well, we'll probably just discuss more about the actual box office results, likely for comparisons of the first film as well as the second film, you know, Sponge Out of Water, and even Sponge on the Run's box office performance. Which it might be seems pretty obvious is the fact that it is actually like, well, again, we'll talk more about it until when we get onto Friday. In this case, the unlucky 13th day. Oh shoot. I just realized about that. Yeah, no, because we ended up going to be entering into the unlucky 13th day after all, but oh well. So, let's talk about the forms of why we're actually going to be doing this game, as opposed to, well, we're going to be doing this game again, ever since back in 2015, which is about 5 years ago, despite the fact that our original Let's Play of this game is no longer on our channel. First of all, is the fact that we did done this game originally back in 2015 just to able to celebrate some more DLC content for, let's just say, Super Smash Bros. For the Wii U and 3DS. And, well, we did done some, commentary, stuff alright. Although there was one little problem, or actually multiple problems actually, with that particular original Let's Play of the game. First of all, is the fact that the sound mixing is really bad. And because of that, though, you can barely able to actually hear our commentary very well. And also, the actual music is actually annoyingly loud sometimes when you're able to try to hear our commentary. And also, finally, perhaps even most annoyingly thing of them all, though, is the fact that sometimes it's the fact that, usually the actual sound, you know, sound syncing is actually got a little bit of, out of hand. And even especially noticeable about the fact that the screen resolution wasn't exactly perfect. Like, usually in some parts, usually gets like an alright, perfect, image size, although some episodes or some parts in Fury doesn't. So even then though, thankfully this is a much more of the improvement over the forms of how it does in 2015 for sure. This is pretty obvious because we actually, newbies when it comes to using the Roxo Gaming Capture HD Pro. So because of that though, yeah, it's one of pointing things out right away. So anyways, here we go, face off against with Master Hand for the second time in this game. Oh jeez Louise. Sometimes that attack always throws me off a little bit because the actual hitbox is like slightly big, so. And surprisingly enough, back in the forms of 2015, that for whatever reason, we just play as Donkey Kong on easy mode, or in this case, very easy as far as I like to say, but, so far so good in terms of the forms of normal runs as far as I'm aware, that, we actually did pretty good. So, well, apart from a few occasions where we keep on getting hit by a lot of opponents' attacks, even especially noticeable for Master Hand's case. So, but either way though, hopefully he should be down for good. Okay. Okay, just 5 more health left, and boom, he's toast. And yeah, that's pretty much how we can say in terms of Donkey Kong in this game, so even then, though, there's not much else to tell. In fact, no matter what though, it's the fact that we actually did a no-miss clear. I'm pretty sure you actually get yourselves a special announcement voice is actually going to be saying something after we able to actually sit through for those credit sequence first. And as you can see, we ended up as plushies apparently, which later on in the future games it will become trophies and in Ultimate's case, spirits. So anyways, we got the ending stuff at this point right here, I'm afraid guys. So join us next time for more of Let's Play of Super Smash Bros. It's the fact that the next character we're going to be using is none other than Link. And yeah, that's what happens if you've done a no-miss clear run. So yes, what pointings out. So I'll see you guys until on Friday. Yeah, later fellas.